Mike, we're live.
Check. Holy hell. What a day. Wednesday. EP.4. God, I just feel like there's so much to talk about. So much to fucking talk about, dude. Ugh. Drugs. Fucking caffeine. Crazy drug. It's crazy everyone likes different kinds of drugs. But monitoring the drugs, I think, is big. And I think the drugs that decline your health and the drugs that don't really decline your health, like I don't think marijuana declines your health, but I think the abuse of it declines your health. But abuse of anything fucking declines your health, dude. Abuse of caffeine. How much caffeine do you do a day, Jay?
I usually just have a coffee and then a tea. That's all I do, like pretty much all day. I try not to. I used to do 2 coffees, but I felt like I was doing too much, so now I just do like a yerba right now and a coffee.
So, okay. So you do coffee at the beginning of the day, and then maybe your second round is tea.
Yeah, like right now I'm drinking a tea. Sometimes I'll switch it up, you know. But like how you guys said, I didn't even know that how long caffeine stays in your system. So I used to have it later, but now I try not to have it past like 3 or 4. 4 would be like my latest I have caffeine.
Yeah,
second
max.
Because sometimes you need it, like when we have our second training of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Especially teaching 2 hours in the night and then training with the students too. I like having a little boost. But lately I've been doing this, it's called Insta Fuel by Laird Hamilton. It's this matcha. It's this matcha mix. You mix it up with some hot water, put some honey in it, and then you can put cold water and make it a cold one. But it gives you, I like the matchas because it gives you a nice little high. It's not like that geeky fucking caffeine high.
Yeah, that's why I like tea too. Like the yerbas are kind of, like you said, like it's a good little boost, not like too much. We're like, oh shit, jittery and shit.
It was crazy being all around all the guys in Florida. It's like, man, dude, there's not a time when they're completely sober.
Oh, I know.
I think with Bradley there was, because he's into exercise and into fitness and into health But those guys that really don't have an excuse, like we like to be healthy and improve our health, like I said, because of our jiu-jitsu and we care about our bodies. But like most of those other guys, but Adderall, me and you were going to split an Adderall. I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I've never done alcohol with fucking Adderall.
Oh, I never mixed it either. I've literally only done Adderall once just to kind of see how it feels. And I never done it since.
I did it once too. When I was driving home from Portland with my buddy Ty. We did a little half pill, and it was sweet. But dude, I think a lot of people are on Adderall.
It's very common, like for college kids. I would imagine editors too. Like I think fucking like Steve's guy and the other Brad's guy probably are always geeked up on that shit. And
I wonder if you do it for years and years and years, I wonder like what the negative effects are.
Yeah.
Like, is it like meth? Because it is an amphetamine, isn't it?
Look it up.
But yeah, a little low dose of Adderall here and there. I feel like right now I don't need it. Like Brendan Schwab, he does like sometimes 3 podcasts or a day, and I feel like if I was doing 3 podcasts a day, maybe a little low dose of Adderall would be good. Maybe I just need to try it too. One of my kids jiu-jitsu students, their parents gave me one, and I have it sitting at home. Maybe I just need to pop it and just fucking go off and just get shit done.
You're gonna be cleaning your house and shit.
I know.
Like you'd just be too geeked up, but I don't want to just get like, I don't know if it's like, do you get hooked on it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like caffeine, you know, like I feel like I need it in the morning.
So people who abuse a great deal of Adderall over a long period of time may experience side effects ranging from sleep difficulties, depression, and irritability, to mood swings, paranoia, panic attacks. A list of side effects of long-term Adderall abuse are below. Sleep difficulties, inability to concentrate, lack of motivation, depression, irritability, lethargy, fatigue, aggression, thoughts of suicide, mood swings, paranoia, hallucinations, tremors, headaches, weight loss, anxiety. God, it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
I feel like we run good enough without it. It's like, why do I just need to fucking add something?
Yeah, I'm good with coffee and tea.
Yeah. I like sleeping well, dude. I love sleeping fucking good. And lately I haven't been smoking in the nights. When we were in Miami fucking partying, Murder always had in his little glasses case, probably a stack of 15 blunts. And it was actually nice smoking those blunts. But, dude, smoking in the nights, I eat less, I wake up naturally at 7:15, and my body's ready to fucking wake up. I'm going to try to stick with it as long as I can. Taking some day rips, though. Sometimes I like smoking before the pods. It helps me talk a little bit easier and just relax. But, yeah. But the thing about Adderall, too, is like Murder was saying, he just does Adderall. We didn't say that, but he had a bunch of them on him, so I figured. But it suppresses your appetite, too. So maybe that's why people like it a lot, too, is you don't get snacky constantly. But, like 6ix9ine, he was talking about when Oscar and him opened up the cupboards, it was like the shittiest food you can imagine, top to bottom in every cupboard.
That's how, like, I grew up eating, too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, like, especially, like, me and my brother and sisters my mom was always working, so you just kind of want something quick so you don't really have to think or cook, you know what I mean?
When did you slowly start getting into just eating better and caring about your health? When?
Probably, like, honestly, not until, like, after high school. Like, I always knew it was, like, obviously bad for you, like, all the shit I was eating. Especially, like, Mexican food. There's a lot that's bad for you. So, but after high school, like, I was, like, I don't know, something just clicked. I was, like, I think I noticed, like, how, like, lazy I was getting. And it was, like, when I was working at the call center. I was just feeling like shit, tired.
Was it jiu-jitsu that made you think, like, oh, maybe I can eat?
Yeah. I think it was a little bit before jiu-jitsu, though, because I was like, man, I just need to get my just health overall all together. And then I started working out a little bit, like lifting weights. But even, like, when you first start lifting, it could be a little bit intimidating because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing or if I'm doing it right. So you just look shit up on YouTube, or you ask buddies, like, hey, how do you, like, you know, show me how to lift?
And it's crazy with that lifting shit. It's like, I learned how to lift in wrestling in high school, but it was all wrong. Like, Brandon's pretty much teaching me how to relift. Even I was doing physical therapy, and I thought at physical therapy they teach you how to properly do things. But still, they were teaching me outdated information where your body's just really in flexion and extension. But I think I started eating healthy. I was always trying to cut to 170 when I was fighting coming up. And I was like, how do these guys do it? And I found the Dolce diet, 3 weeks to shredded, it's called. And he goes through his diet plan with Thiago Alves, and he loses 21 pounds in 3 weeks. And it's pretty outdated too, but that's when I kind of started to learn. And then I moved in with Pat Healy, and I saw him eat spinach. I'm like, what the hell? Spinach is probably fucking nasty. But then I started putting spinach in my shakes with some fruit and a little bit of protein and some water. And I was like, what the hell? You can't even taste the spinach. And it was bomb as fuck. But then slowly, and then when I fought at the Playboy Mansion, like, I didn't have a fucking clue how to cut weight and diet. I stopped eating Wednesday, and stopped drinking Wednesday for a Friday night weigh-in. And then I moved to Portland, and I started working with this nutritionist guy. He was kind of a fraud, which is kind of fucked up to see. But I paid him. I had sponsors pay him $120 a week to make all my meals for training. So he would, at the beginning of the week, he'd give me 3 days worth of meals, and then in the middle of the week he'd give me another 3 days worth of meals, and then Sundays we had our cheat days. But that's when I started to learn, like, the timing of when I should eat my snack. Post-workout, I should get my protein shakes, and I started to learn. And then working with Jamie Varner, and he had a separate nutritionist. Working with all these different fighters, I've gotten a lot of info on eating good and cutting weight and having the right diet plan and refueling good. And then just when I wasn't training from all the injuries, I started just like, I don't want to just feel good when I'm getting ready for a fight camp. I want to feel good always. So then I started eating healthy out of fight camp too, and just turned it into a lifestyle, eating clean, organic, good foods that make me feel good. My stomach digests them easy, which in turn I sleep better, which in turn makes everything better. So I'm like, wow, I was kind of onto something. But yeah, 6ix9ine's like, yeah, I just takes laxatives, brother. I'm like, what?
I know.
He's like, not every night. But I'm like, damn, so you just eat all this and take a laxative. So I said, when you take a shit, are you just spraying every time? He's like, yeah, but not all the time. Like, damn.
Well,
That's how a motherfucker lost weight.
I think, too, because he was talking to Sean, like, oh, I want to get down to, like, your weight class. Because I think I used to think, too, like, way back. But I think people think, like, for instance, Sean fights at 135. They think that's his weight. Like, he just walks around at that, like, all the time. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really understand, like, the weight cutting and stuff like that. So he's like, oh, I just want to be 136, bro. I want to be 135. Like, you don't want to be that skinny, like, all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? I used to think that, too. He used to be like, oh, he fights at 155. Like, that's just his weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most fighters healthily walk around 20 pounds overweight. Some fighters out of camp, they get 30 pounds overweight, which that's when you start getting fucking unhealthy. 3 times, 4 times a year, losing 30 pounds and then putting it back on, and then losing 30 pounds and then putting it back on. I think it ages you kind of quick. Yeah, so when it was just you three in the car, you 6ix9ine and Sugar driving.
Oh yeah.
What was it like? What were the conversations like?
Well, the first time we met him, like, he was just like, oh, you want to ride with me, like, to Sean, you know? And then, obviously, he didn't mind that I was there. And we just got in his Range Rover. And you could tell, like, you know, like, 6ix9ine is pretty good at, like, I feel like getting people to, like, talk about them. I think because he's just, like, super nice in person. And he doesn't make you feel, like, awkward or anything, you know? Like, kind of, like, intimidated almost. And then he was just trying to get Sean to talk more and, like, get to know Sean a little bit more. And then at first you could tell Sean was even like, I felt like he was a little bit nervous, you know.
For sure he was nervous,
because I was just in the back like, damn, this is crazy. We're just in the car with him, like, because during that time he was trying to meet his brother up, like, oh, where are you at? Meet me over here, make sure you're like following me or behind me or whatever. But yeah, as all that was going on, they were trying to like read directions, talk to each other. And yeah, they're just getting to know each other, you know, a little bit more better, kind of break the ice a little bit. And then, but yeah, I think 6ix9ine is just really good at like making you feel comfortable, like, to talk to him, you know, because some people are like, oh shit, you're a fucking celebrity. I think for Sean too, because he loves 6ix9ine, you know. It's like, imagine meeting like someone you like been bumping their music forever and like their personality and all that. So. Well,
even for, like, I can't imagine for 6ix9ine, people don't even look at him like he's a human being. Like, he's a normal fucking human being. Just a creative guy who blows up and a lot of people know him, but they look at him like as this, like, I don't know, like a figure, not like just, he's like a normal dude. He does all the same shit we do. And even with Sugar, I see it with people like looking like, whoa,
I know, they freak
like
out.
This figure. But it's like, he's just a normal fucking scrubby kid. 4 years ago, we weren't anything, just grinding. That's it.
Yeah, I think just anybody that's like a celebrity, like, they just kind of like forget like they're a person too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even with like, we saw it with Steve and what's his name, Bradley. Like, people were just kind of like freaking out, like when they start shaking, like, can I get a pic? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's pretty wild. I was thinking about that too. It's like, I don't know if there's anybody that I would kind of freak out, like, if I met like that. Not like in a nervous sense, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
someone you look up to and you've known about for a long time. Like, yeah, who?
That's what I was thinking. It's like,
who would you see and be like, damn, I want to get a picture with that person?
The only person, like, Kanye West. Like, I just love Kanye.
Really?
But other than that, I don't know.
Dude, probably 6ix9ine for me. I'd be like,
really?
Damn, that's fucking 6ix9ine. He's such a character with all his tattoos and his persona. I'd probably get a pic with him for sure. And we did get to just chill with him. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Man, with all those guys and that lifestyle, it's like, when is it going to come to a point? Because eventually it's going to catch up. Like, eventually it has to catch up unless you start putting in some healthy habits here and there to, like, make you healthy. But, like, I just feel like there's such a danger in those constant highs, especially like with his content creation, Steve's. It's kind of like a thing where it's like, fuck, because I think he got super famous from chugging crazy amounts of liquor, like chugging full bottles of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I think just for like his party type content, I believe. Because I think he was talking about it on the Steve-O podcast a little bit. Like, I think he just started posting on Instagram or something, and people just liked it. And obviously I'm assuming he liked the feedback, so he just kept doing like more outlandish shit.
That's where it would be tough, like making that kind of content to where it's like you got to do crazy shit, and then you got to up the crazy shit you just did. Oh, that would be a tough one. But he likes it. He genuinely likes being fucking crazy like that.
Like his older one. See, I remember watching this like 2 years ago, and I ate like 4,500 milligrams of THC edibles. Like he would just do crazy shit. Or attempting to eat 30 burgers, eating the world's biggest pizza, just stuff like that.
It's pretty badass though. He really is just really good at entertainment.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild that he's super young, like 22.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know. Hopefully he has like some sort of like mentor or something, or someone I think Brad like
is gonna help him for sure.
Yeah, he's a good friend. You could tell, like they're boys.
Yeah, but the dangers of those high highs, because with those high highs come low lows, and if you just constantly keep the highs high, what's that 6ix9ine?
Oh,
video?
I know. I just saw that.
I didn't see that one.
Wait, that's funny. So yeah, he's been a fan of 6ix9ine too. I'm assuming they remade the Gooba video. Let's see. I'm trying to fast forward here. He dressed up like 6ix9ine. That's wild, huh? That's what he really was. He was like, dude, I've been a 6ix9ine fan too to Sean. He's like, this is like crazy to me too. He was even freaking out a little bit that he was hanging out with Sean.
I think they all were. I think they all were like looking at Sean like, whoa, this motherfucker, which is really cool.
Yeah, because like when we first met them, you could tell he was like kind of nervous. Or I think he says it in the pod too. He's like kind of like socially can be awkward a little bit. Because he just like, but you could tell, you know, how he like had an anxiety attack because he thought he lost some money.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
But he talks about all that on like the Steve-O pod, like how he kind of can be a little awkward if he doesn't know you. I feel like, yeah.
But we were young. I think he got the vibe that we were younger kids and just scrubby normal kids, just like fucking
we weren't
everyone
trying
else.
to be cool or like, I don't know,
or super uptight or anything. But I want to know, like with the content creation, you could see how it just gets super almost addicting to where it's like, I just want to keep growing. I just want to keep growing. I want to keep growing. So I wonder if there's got to be a happy medium on where it's like, okay, like a mix of almost like stoicism with the creating content and with the I was just talking to Brandon Harris about it. He's just so smart about all that stuff. But I think it would be hard, and you'd have to be super aware, self-aware, and have a like, I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Hopefully Steve doesn't go through some crazy shit like Bam Margera did, where he gets so hooked on shit, and then like any more alcohol or certain drugs aren't doing the trick, and then maybe he tries like a dangerous drug one time, then it just goes down from there.
Yeah, I hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope he does. He seems like a genuine guy, like Steve. I think he's just a little awkward, like sometimes when you try to talk to him. I think just because he's young, you know, so he hasn't really built that like how to talk to people almost. You know what I mean?
Well, and he's a fucking superstar, dude.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Anyone you come in contact with, you don't know if they're just being friendly just to get something from you.
Yeah, that's true, because you're famous and shit.
Yeah, or if you're just and there's who knows?
And I
Because like
remember,
the higher level you get in things, the higher level the snakes are.
Yeah, that's
I forgot
true.
who said that, but I was like, fuck, that's just so true.
Everybody just wants to like get shit from you. Like it's not really like genuine, and I bet it gets harder the bigger you get. Because I remember talking to Imran one time when I was with him in what was that one time we were hanging out with him? Was it in San Diego, Santa Monica?
Yeah.
I remember we went to like Whole Foods, I forgot, somewhere, but we were just talking, and he was just like, yeah, like Sean is getting bigger every fight. He's like, the bigger he gets, the more like closer he's probably gonna get to you guys, because like reasons like that. Like I feel like the bigger you get, the more like kind of keep it still tight, you know, and try not to let new people in so much.
Yeah.
He was saying that too, so you could tell like he's probably just like really close, obviously, with Brad and his little like video team.
Yeah, his boys, which is cool.
Yeah.
Having your group of friends that regardless without anything, they'll still be your friends. Like literally, if you lose everything and you're working at McDonald's, we'll still probably chill on the weekends or
exactly
whatever. But let's switch it up. Sean just got text by his manager yesterday. 2 huge fights, dude. 2 huge fights that they're possibly talking about. Supposedly those guys want Sean. So we went to the coffee shop this morning and did a little film study on them and just kind of are trying to decide what's best. And it's nice having Taquino to call. You know what I mean? He's super smart. And then our buddies, and we have a good group to call to where we can make a good decision. But yeah, the next fight is going to be fucking insane, and people are going to be pumped about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy.
But what I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of Patreon questions coming in,
yeah.
and we'll get to those in a little bit. But
Okay.
starting out, people always ask, what do you think the best martial art is? And what's the difference between wrestling and jiu-jitsu? I think starting out wrestling, you always are shooting from real close. You're tying up with the person, and the range is really close when you're wrestling. When you start fighting, the range switches by about 3 feet. So having to adapt to that is a tough part for wrestlers. Some can do it because they're super athletic, but some, they have a lot of trouble with it. With wrestlers too, in jiu-jitsu, wrestlers are super good at controlling you, but when it comes to jiu-jitsu, what the jiu-jitsu guy has is all these different guards: single leg X guard, De La Riva guard, full guard, half guard. And those are the spots where the wrestlers need to learn to be, where they can be safe and where they can be comfortable, because they're not used to fighting someone that's fighting off of their back, still attacking them, trying to sweep them. Because in wrestling, you put someone on their back, pin them, the match is over. You've been enjoying wrestling, haven't you?
Yeah, wrestling's super fun. Like, I enjoy, like, at first I was, like, a little intimidated, I think, because wrestling, the bigger factors, like, especially when I even roll with wrestlers, like, they're just, like, super aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll just weather the storm, and usually they'll get tired, you know what I mean, by the end of the round.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Like, if they have a lot of weight and size on me, it's a little bit harder, but I feel like they get tired even faster. And usually, like, that's when I use my jiu-jitsu, and I could tell they're just, like, breathing all hard, and they try to pass my guard, like, super hard, or try to, like, even if they did pass, I'll get it back, and you can tell they get a little irritated. But standing up and learning to take people down is super fun too. I feel like because I've been establishing my, like, jiu-jitsu more, so now, like, knowing how to take them down now from standing, it, like, makes the positions, like, I have an even more upper hand, you know, when I could, like, get a single or a little arm drag, inside leg trip or something.
I think you have to be a complete grappler. You have to know how to wrestle, dude.
Oh, for sure.
Especially, how are you going to go out in the streets and be confident in yourself when all you do is sit to your butt and fucking pull guard? Like, you got to know how to take someone down. And, like, wrestling is super hard. It's super exhausting on your body. It's, I think, one of the most fucking exhausting things. Wrestling rounds in high school are 3 2-minute rounds.
Even when we would have just wrestling practices, oh my God, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
It's like a different type of jiu-jitsu or tiredness.
Yeah, a different type of fucking tiredness. So even for the young bucks listening out there, if you have the opportunity to wrestle in high school, just do it. It's a fucking bitch. And I wrestled 4 years and I did not want to. I'm like, dude, I could go home and eat a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now and play some Madden. But no, I got to go in this wrestling room for an hour and a half and fucking exhaust myself and have kids trying to break me mentally and physically. But learning those lessons in high school, they really transfer over. And not only transfer over in other combat sports, they transfer over in life. Like, you get a certain level of confidence from wrestling. And it's and in high school, it's free training. You don't have to pay for it if you're in high school. I definitely don't think I'd be where I'm at if it wasn't for wrestling in high school and coming up and doing it. And that's why I'm thankful too that I can give it back. All the wrestling stuff I've learned, I can give it back to our students. So no matter what, at our gym, our people know how to wrestle, and they're at least pretty comfortable on their feet, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to some gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms, they don't teach wrestling.
That's what I was about to say. You could get your black belt and not know how to wrestle. You know what I mean? I've heard
Yeah.
stories about, like, guys that are black belts that don't know how to like take someone down, essentially, you know. So it's like,
well,
that's pretty wild.
A lot of gyms start from their knees or start from their butt. No. The fight's gonna end up on the ground anyway. It's like if I want it to.
Yeah. They get knocked out.
Yeah. Oh fuck, God, dude. Me and Mariah went into this coffee shop the other day when I was getting my braces, just a random one, and this girl with tattoos, super fucking cute, big fan of the pod. She was like, whoa, she was a huge fan of the pod. So we got a picture, met her, and she's like, yeah, my boyfriend's like a huge fan of you guys too. And then I left. I came back the next day.
She was a worker, or she was just there?
Yeah, she was working at the coffee shop. I came back the next day because the braces place was closed the first day. I went back in the coffee shop, and she's like, hey, I don't actually have a boyfriend. I just didn't want to like make your girlfriend mad, like that I was talking.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh, that's cool. My girlfriend actually thought you were really hot. And then she was like really flattered. And I was like, well, do you have an Insta? Got her Insta, and we've been chatting.
Still?
Mariah and her been chatting too. And hopefully we're ready to rumble on Saturday. So supposedly she's coming over. Damn. I know we've heard it before. Oh, it's always nerve-wracking, dude, because I got to be the facilitator in that situation. I got to be the one running the program because it's these girls, two shy girls. It's like, the coach. Oh, fuck, dude. But I'm ready for it. Let's go. I'm fucking ready for it.
It's pretty wild. I always think like how it would be too. Like, do you like split your attention between them, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, that's where it's like
your coaching
you got to be really secure with your main partner.
Yeah.
And talk to Mariah and say, hey, like this girl's probably really nervous and probably even more insecure. So I'll make sure, like, obviously giving Mariah attention, but giving her attention and making that girl feel comfortable too. But I'm fucking pumped. But I'm fucking pumped, dude.
Gotta lead the way. Gotta guide them.
Finally, enough fucking beating my meat. You beat your meat a lot?
Not a lot, honestly. Not like as much as I used to, but I feel like I'm pretty. I don't know. I do maybe like a couple times a week, not that many times.
Sometimes I feel like you just fucking need to, dude. You just need to think straight.
It's funny when it just pops in your head, huh? I was reading like a meme on Twitter, like it's like guys are funny, like out of nowhere they just want to go jack off.
Dude,
like it's just random, like almost like you just get that like.
For me, it's usually when I'm sitting there and I just have like a couple hours to kill. I'm not bored, but I'm like, damn, I know that'd be a nice little high right now. But fuck, I do feel better when I don't. Cause do you usually look at porno?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Of course.
It's
not like back in the days, like when you'd have to like either look at a magazine or something, like before we had smartphones and shit. God. But I can imagine you too, because you're a little bit older. So I don't know how you used to do it, boss.
I'm trying to think. I used to get like when I first beat off, I went like this. I was like, oh.
It's funny how you just discover it, huh?
Yeah, magazines. I remember going to like Hastings or like a Blockbuster, those movie stores, and opening up the package of
were you
of the
over
porn
18 though? Like,
no.
Oh, so you just steal it?
No, I wouldn't steal it. I'd open it up and just look at it, get some mental shots.
It's funny. I remember my best friend growing up. His grandpa, he found like his stash of magazines. So we would just take one or two and we would just share it.
Just have a hate.
We had a hiding spot. We were like, yo, put it right here. If you ever need it, let me know.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, nowadays it's like you literally can just pretty much mentally fuck any type of girl you want within 2-3 clicks, 2-3 seconds. It's dangerous, dude. It's fucking dangerous. That's another thing. Another drug you just fucking it's probably not super healthy to abuse.
I know there's like a bunch of people that do like, or you see like the no fap challenge or shit like that. Yeah, I think even Joe Rogan's talked about it, like not fapping at all.
Fapping gives you like Jeep beating off.
Yeah, it's just like the PG word for jacking off. But yeah, I think Joe Rogan's even talked about it. Yeah.
But then again, it's like I don't think people should feel guilty about it. Even girls, they think like, oh, if I masturbate, or some of the girls I've met, if I masturbate, it's like kind of a slutty thing. It's like, what?
Yeah,
fuck
I think
that.
Just growing up, I mean, even sex in general, you're always kind of like frowned upon, you know, like when they would do sex ed and shit like that.
Yeah,
I don't even remember sex ed. Did you have that in school?
I did have sex ed.
I don't think I ever did.
was pretty fucking awkward, and they definitely made you more scared to have sex. Like, made it like a scary thing.
Like, did your mom and dad ever talk to you about sex?
No.
I'm saying.
No, they really didn't.
I think I just learned through my friends, honestly.
Yeah.
Even like porn and shit they would show me, or.
But I definitely from sex ed learned, I think, to wear condoms. So when I lost my virginity, 14, fucking threw a condom on for a good couple pumps. But yeah, Corey TJ this weekend, dude.
It's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be a good fucking fight. I watched a little behind the scenes countdown on ESPN Plus, and both of them are working fucking hard. I feel God, TJ, he's just like every single question, which it should be, is about his EPO and his. But it's cool. He's coming back, and he's gonna try to fight through it, and hopefully eventually it goes away.
Yeah.
But it's almost like no matter what, if he wins, everyone's gonna say,
people are always gonna bring it up. Yeah, because I think he said too in the interview that like they tested all his old samples too, and it was only for that one time he was gonna fight Henry or some shit. Was it? Or was
That's
it
what he said, right? That's what he said.
Supposedly, but
yeah,
because it is crazy looking at those pics when he was going down to 125. He looked dead, like.
Oh, he looked like a little crackhead.
That's why I wonder how Cody. But Cody's small too, huh?
Yeah. Even in the fight companion, Cody was like, "Yeah, I'll meet him at 130." Like, want sugar at that 130 weight. But Corey Sandhagen, he's such a nice fucking kid, and I like that he talks about like his fears that he has going into fights and how the mental battles you go through, because literally the mental battles are the fucking hardest part about a fight, dude. And he talks about for him how important his meditation is, and just getting your thoughts in order. And I forgot who calls it, but like exercising your demons, exercising your mental demons. When doubt comes in jiu-jitsu tournaments or wrestling tournaments, when you're really tired after that first match, there's going to be doubts. There's going to be like, oh, I'm so fucking tired. How am I supposed to go again? But you got to focus on what you control. Getting hydrated, control your breath, and exercise those fucking demons out. And for every person, I think exercising those demons is different. Especially, he said a lot of it came into play after he lost to Aljamain, because I think he was undefeated when he fought Aljamain, and then he lost to Aljamain. He's like, holy shit, I got to get track of what's going on in my mind.
Yeah, I listened to that pod too with Joe Rogan when he talks about that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that pod, but he was talking about it on that little ESPN countdown.
Oh, okay. He talked about it too on the Joe Rogan. That same exact shit you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm pumped. I'd like to see Corey win. I think he deserves it. His style's fucking good. It looks like he's got a good, solid team, and he doesn't have anything taking his focus off. It looks like he's just pure fucking training and getting better. But we got a bunch of some questions on Patreon that we could go over for the brothers. Lucas, how is 6ix9ine in person? We already said it a couple times, but he was super down to earth guy. Like, as soon as the cameras come on or his phone comes out, the entertainer, the gangsta fucking thug come out. But when he was just hanging out with us guys, he was just a 26-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. Just a normal little fucker that likes to fuck around. That's it.
Yeah, it's funny them fucking around in the group chat and shit too, huh? Like all the funny all the shit they were saying.
Yeah. Bruno, Suga hurt his hands in his last fight. That's something I'm dealing with right now, preparing for my first K1 fight. Do you have any tips on protecting those knuckles? Best wishes from Vienna. Yeah, Bruno, I dealt with that while I was fighting too. I broke my hand. Clean breaks 3 times and had like smaller fractures. Every fucking fight I fought, I'd come out of there with my hands fucked up, Bruno. But when you have those practices where your hands are just aching, what I felt helped me is I got a little protein jug, filled it with ice, and I just sunk it in there for 15 minutes. And I don't really know the science behind that, but it helped me a lot. But also, when you start getting your hands hurt, people think you need to wrap your hands way more. Like, in practice, wrap them way more. But when you wrap your hands way more, then it's harder to make a proper fist. And when you can make a proper fist, then your bones have that support a little bit. But if you wrap them too much, then you can't completely close your fist. And the fucking bones in your hands are the size of a pencil. They bend easily. Later on too, I got these the winning gloves. The winning gloves with this rubber winning knuckle pad that I combined. And those two things really protected my knuckles and really kept my hands healthy. Yeah, but it's a bitch. It's a bitch, the hand injuries. That's why I'm so thankful that Sugar didn't break his fucking hand. Because then you got to take the 6 weeks for the hand to heal. And then it's like, sometimes it doesn't heal right. And it just causes you fucking issues. And then they constantly ache. And then you're scared to throw them full bore. Yeah, but a lot of people deal with that. You got to take care of your fucking hands, dude. Ian Schuler. Tim, what made you realize that Suga's the real deal and a future UFC champ? Probably the work ethic. You know, I knew he was always a good athlete from his first couple fights I started working with him as an amateur. I knew he was a good fucking athlete. I think getting with Brandon Harris really, really helped him develop and be like, okay, now he's going to be a durable good athlete. But then when I really realized it is when I started seeing his discipline. He didn't need people to wake him up. He didn't need people to motivate him to go in the gym. He wanted to get better. So he made the decision to show up every fucking practice. Every practice. What do you need? Like, sometimes you're tired and beat up and you got every excuse in the world to miss practice. But still, you go to fucking practice. Because he had his fucking discipline dialed in. And that's when I realized, I'm like, this motherfucker could be really good. Because he's so young right now. His body's still maturing. He's still growing. Not even close to his full potential. But no matter how good you are, without the discipline and without just showing up, it doesn't matter. And that's the thing with a lot of those good athletes like that. They can get away with winning by kind of half-assing a little bit because they're such good athletes. But then you start getting to the elite level, and then you have those good athletes with that hard work ethic and that hard discipline and that hunger to keep growing in all the places. And then that's where you get the world champion athlete. A lot of guys too, they have that world champion mindset, but they just don't quite have the athleticism to back it up. But still, they'll go a long way. But to be like top 5 and elite and champion, you gotta have both. In fighting, I think in jiu-jitsu you can just have a lot of discipline and show up a lot and not be the best athlete, and then you could be a world champion, which is fucking sweet. All about kind of what you put into it. Ragnarok. Any strange on the last trip? God, dude. It was weird. It was the first time like at like a penthouse party or whatever. First one of those I've ever been to anyway. But the girls were outnumbered the guys. So there was a few girls that I'm like, oh yeah, she's I talked to them all, just kind of get a feel on them. And who knows, they probably thought all of us were super, super rich and wealthy. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to get fucked. But it was the first time where I was like, there's just a couple options and I don't want to go for one option and it end up not working. And then other girl's pissed and then try to go back to her. But no strange. God damn it. That's okay. Still had a good time. Fucking didn't get any diseases. Did you ever get robbed in a decision? I got robbed bad this past weekend. They raised my hand for a 29-28 unanimous decision, then called us back to say he won 29-28. Other judge gave me 30-27. It sucks ass because I can't change it and have a guaranteed rematch. What would be your mindset going into the rematch with bad blood? Logan, I'd forget about the bad blood. Let it maybe motivate you in your training, but you got to just sit there and focus on what you got to do. Focus on where you went wrong in the fight, where you could have gotten advantage over him. Yeah, I'd focus on your tactics and your techniques over the bad blood. Timbo, we know that you're a huge part of Sugar's journey to be a UFC champ, but what are your own goals, whether it be on your own or part of a group? Thanks. Keep up the amazing content. I've talked about this before. My own goals are just to keep improving my jiu-jitsu. Just keep improving my jiu-jitsu, keep improving my strength, keep improving my health, and keep my consistent habits of reading too. Because now I have a lot of people that are almost looking to me as their leader, so I gotta take that in account, and I gotta keep growing, and I gotta keep fucking learning. And as long as I keep doing that, then I can keep making the people around me, keep making my team at the gym better, keep making a Sugar a world champ. So just staying consistent with my good habits and consistent growing. Those are my goals. And just learn to enjoy it all. Learn to enjoy it all and not constantly think about this future getting a new gym, or future getting our compound, or future getting a new Tesla. Not constantly always thinking about that. Are you starting to get good at, like, damn, just enjoying where we're at now?
Yeah, I feel like I've always been pretty decent at it, just because I feel like even for me and you know, we've talked about it, like growing up not having a lot, so it makes me even more grateful when I do, you know. Like this morning I was just in the apartment, 2-bedroom. I was like, this is crazy that I have this. It's so spacious in comparison to, like, even just growing up sleeping on the couch or on the floor, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty grateful with literally just about anything. So
yeah, it definitely makes it easier when you don't come from a lot.
Yeah, because I feel like it's harder if you did grow up kind of wealthy and nobody really, like, kind of like, you didn't know, like, it's almost normal, like, oh, everybody's. Because when I was, like, growing up, I thought everybody was, like, equal, you know? Like, kind of had a naive look at the world where everybody's, like, I didn't know there was a rich or a poor or a middle class, you know what I mean? And obviously as you get older, you realize, like, oh, shit. But I feel like I'm pretty good at having that mindset already.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's nice. You ever have a plan on your brother on the Timbo Sugar Show or the RedHawk? Yeah, for sure. My brother's super fucking smart. Way smarter, way tougher. My brother's a badass. Yeah, I'd love to have him on for sure. As a complete beginner in jiu-jitsu, what are the first 5 things you should learn? Would training no gi first help me progress faster before putting on the gi and learning more techniques? I guess depending on where you're going to train, but I would recommend putting on the gi, because for our gym, we have a curriculum when you come in. You come in, and there's a list of moves that you're going to probably learn. You're going to learn how to escape the mount. And then you're going to learn a very first guard pass. And then you're going to learn how to kind of stay heavy from side control and then mount the person. And then maybe an Americana finish. And then from there, you got to just learn the positions. Learn how to escape the back. Learn what it means being on top in half guard. Learn what it means being on top in full guard, and proper posture in all these positions. Proper posture when someone has an open guard. Just learning the positions and learning to be also efficient with your energy. Getting in positions to where you're like, okay, I'm good to just take a couple good breaths here. Instead of grappling, being like, I just need to hold my breath and I just need to scrap this whole fucking time. And then you're just gassed out in 3 minutes and you can't even think about jiu-jitsu or anything. You're just so fucking tired. So that's what I'd say. Regarding the x-rays Sean has done, are there any microfractures that would suspend Sean from fighting? No. I think they did that suspension right after Sean said his hands was hurting. They got the x-rays. The x-rays are good. So the doctor or whoever will probably message the commissioners and they'll drop the suspension. Everything will be good. Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at the halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl? You ever watch that show, Waterboy?
Yeah. I don't remember it a lot, but I remember it's from Waterboy.
I watched that show a bunch. Andre, what are some good nutrition tips? Books, foods to avoid, superfoods. There's just so many, Andre. It's nice because Google has a lot of the pretty good answers. And books, depending what kind of books you like, depending where you're at in life. But there's just so many, Andre. Depending how old you are. A good book is Tools of Titans, dude. It's older, mature guys who've been around the block, who've had money, who've been in low lows, who have all pretty cool stories, and it talks about a lot of their habits and asks them a lot of good questions. Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, I think, is a great book. 2 questions for Timbo. 710 Labs on Twitch. Is there a possibility there will be a second TWBJJ location? Also, will there ever be a RedHawk book? Second location? Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually in the coming years. But right now, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to put my focus in another area and just for money. You know, I want to focus on what I'm building right now. A book, psh, if I get fucking smarter.
That'd be sick.
A book one day would be sweet, but I gotta get smarter. Timbo, do more cooking vids. I need to do more cooking vids. I always forget cooking up. Cause again, I'm like, a lot of the days like thinking about getting some good content. Sugar Shane. Let me call you back. We're recording real quick.
He said, let me call you back. And then he said, let me call you back.
I know. I need to do more cooking vids, dude. Cooking's fucking simple, dude. A lot of parents never taught their kids how to cook, and I don't get it. Well, and I never really was taught how to cook. But it was like, I'd come home from wrestling. It's like, well, I better learn how to cook because there's nothing to eat for me. So I kind of would watch my dad like make spaghetti sometimes. I don't know. But I do enjoy cooking, and I do need to do some more videos for sure. After spending a weekend in Miami with some celebs with loads of money and chicks, do you boys think that when you start making real money like that it'll change you guys? I don't think so. When I got back from Miami with all that stuff and came and just trained jiu-jitsu and hung around all my people, went home and had my nice night routine, I'm like, damn, that's a level of happiness that's much more than when it was in Miami, where I'm able to sit there and really enjoy all the things I have compared to Miami. It's like, what's next? All right, where we're going next? And then you have alcohol, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
I don't think so. I think we're like super grounded. I feel like we will be like loaded, but I don't think we're going to be like super flashy or anything. You know what I mean?
Still keep it pretty simple.
Yeah, I feel like, at least I feel like I would, I just know like it's like a high. You're just going to keep chasing. So I wouldn't want that lifestyle. Remember we talked about it, like this is fun for like probably a weekend, but not every day. You're just partying. Like you said, I like my routine too. Jiu-jitsu, podcasting, editing. Like, I like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, for sure. Same. Also, it's possible guys could fight Sandhagen in the future. A tall, tricky striker with crazy good footwork like him. How would you guys come up with a game plan to take out someone like Corey? Dream fight of mine for sure to see him and Suga scrap highest levels of striking between the two. That fight probably will happen. It probably will. Who knows? Sugar starches this next guy. Corey fucking smokes TJ. Who knows? But those top dogs, Sean's gonna be around for a while, so we're probably gonna end up fighting all of them. But preparing wise, probably bring in some strikers that are similar to his style, tall, lanky, that aren't afraid. Yeah, that's probably it. Matthew, what was the top speed you reached in the whip, or were you just trying not to crash? I think we went 105, barely pressed on it and just zipped up to 105. But who knows? Like 6ix9ine and Steve, they were all trying to drive pretty good, so I don't think they were just ripping around like crazy asses looking to get pulled over. But that thing could fucking rip, dude. It was sick, me and Jay. I'm glad you came with me, Jay.
I know. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, all right, I'll still be in the Lambo right here.
Yeah.
And then you're like, come. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, the McLaren was tight.
Yeah, that was fucking fun. What do we have for time?
About to reach 50.
That's perfection. Dude, thanks for all the support with the recap. Me and Jay have been having fun doing it. Like and subscribe if you want to support it. If you don't, then no biggie. I think are we gonna put it on? We're gonna get them on Spotify. All of the episodes.
Yeah, we'll upload all of them.
Probably this week. But yeah, appreciate it. Share with the friends. Got the new shirts coming out. The new RedHawk shirts coming out in I think a week, and that'll be at timbomerch.com. And if you want to hit some games, sometimes I'm chatting too on Twitch, RedHawk31, and on Instagram, JX is always doing creative, cool shit, always training jits. JX Soto on Instagram. All right, guys. See you next week. Peace out.